Hi, welcome my people to Django na Pidgin. Yes, Django na Pidgin. Now this channel now we go learn how to code Django using Pycharm. So whether you don sabi am before, we go code Django with Pidgin, with Pycharm. And for this teachings, na Pidgin I go dey speak. Though I'm going to mix it up with some English, mainly for some abroad viewers. But you get the point. So we go enjoy am. So whether you don sabi code whether you be intermediate I go yarn with you like my padi. So wetin we go do for here be say we go build static website, we go know understand wetin Django be, why the thing dey so popular and why the thing dey good like that. And so we will go from models to deployment and so on and so forth. So you go really get to learn a lot from this lesson. So wetin una go do for me be say una go hit that subscribe button, una go like, una go comment. So wetin be this Django wey we dey talk about sef? So I don open this Django documentation for here. So Django na web application. No, na you go fit just launch your website in a matter of hours. So it saves you time, much of the hassle and so. And this Django, e dey fast well well. It helps web developers to take application from concept to completion very very fast. And then it is fully loaded. E get a lot of ogbonge things wey dey inside. Wey be say e dey really dey help developers to reach their goals. And then with the way security team be now for website, Django dey reassuringly secure. E dey secure well well. E go hard before you fit break the security all those people wey dey type nonsense for web form to take hack website. Una don meet una match now. And e dey scalable, like busy website wey if you wan build busy website, maybe website wey dem for dey buy something, all those kind things, na Django na go fit run that kind thing and e go run am well. And then e dey versatile, different companies, organization dey. So you fit read much of this wey dem call am, this documentations on Django for yourself. Just go djangoproject.com. Now you need to know. And then another thing, before you even read this thing, you go make sure say you don know Python small. I know say make you know am well well. If you never sabi Python, you come download this Python this thing, Python engine from python.org. Don download. You go download am for e dey for Windows, e dey for Mac, and e dey for Linux OS. Me, I dey use Windows, so I go download the latest version of Python. After you don download am, you go still read am small because small knowledge of Python is actually required. And then when you study, I need you to focus on the what do you call am, the classes, and you will still learn the loops in Python. Focus on that one, how to define classes, how to define functions, those you go need am well well. So e get wetin dey call IDE, Integrated Development Environment. This one na wetin dem take dey code, so that you go code, you go take achieve your desired goal. IDE many wey dem dey use for different programming language. For Python, I prefer to use wetin dem call Pycharm. Pycharm na the IDE, and na im we go dey use for this tutorial because the IDE too make sense. And different IDE dey. I think the most common one now, even for most tutorials wey you go see online na Visual Studio, VS Code na dem dey use. Dey use VS Code, but I like Python, Pycharm because of its code completion, debugging, and it actually make things easy for me. Now the two types dey. The free type wey you go download now, because we go start to dey use the free type. Because if you go download that professional fit make you lazy. Reason because say the professional even know the code wey you wan type next. E go even help you type am. You get? But no, you need to understand wetin we dey do first before you move to the professional. The professional no be free. See am, dem dey price am. You go dey pay whether na yearly, you go choose your payment plan. However, the thing dey very 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 good, and if you go the trial, you go really enjoy am. However, we go start with the community version, which is the free one, even if it doesn't support some of the things you are going to do. But in it, you will just learn one or two things. So I don't to talk. Oh yeah, make we start to the code. Here I go open my Pycharm community edition. 001. Let's call this lesson 001, and then click on create. Yeah, I'm on a new window. This should not be difficult for you at all. I'm sure it's going pretty easy for you. So let's move. It's going to create the virtual environment. And this is one thing I love about the PyCharm. Now I make PyCharm now the ogbonge for me. It will create this thing, virtual environment. And most of the time, you don't even really need to deactivate them, because only it go activate itself. Quick, quick, sharp, sharp. So another thing we go do here be say we go take note of this terminal. This terminal na where we go for the run our command. Here, lesson 001 has been created. This is the virtual environment. For Python, they call am .venv. Very good. So we just close this one now. Click on it. Then we'll click on this what do you call am, this terminal. We'll click on this terminal here. Yes, this is it. Our virtual environment has been created for us. Yes. So in the folder, let's know one. Now, what is the actual first step for you to do when you want to build a website? First of all, you have to install Django on this virtual environment, because we are already in the virtual environment. And the way you're going to install Django is simple. You come here and say install Django and press your enter. Then you wait for a few minutes for it to load. Yeah, here we are. It has finished installing Django. So the thing installed the latest version of Django for me. It installed Django 5.2.3. Installed it has collected the packages, the time zone data, the SQL pass, and so on and so forth. So it also asking me to install upgrade pip. Nah, I don't want that one. Maybe later. So let's carry on. Now that Django is installed on this our folder here that's holding our virtual environment, what is the next step for us to take? Let's click on it. Okay, good. Still on the library root. Django is installed. So there's a number of functions that we can run with Django. And to check that out, we'll just put Django. We'll just check out the Django admin and see what we can do with that. Okay, here are some few things that we can do with Django. Here's a few things we can do with Django. We can run the server, we can show migration, SQL migrate, start app, start project, run server, and so on and so forth. There are quite many, or the things that we can do with Django. Yes, so back here. Now, in order to create our website, as one can create our website, so we'll first create our website folder for this lesson 001. We go create now as we don't reach here. So I don't clear everything. Next thing we will do now, we go use Django admin to create our website folder, since we already installed Django. So we can do that by using our Django admin start project. Yes, one word. We all put on like our first lesson. Yes, so we'll call am Django admin start project our first lesson. You press enter. Oh, sorry, I make error here. Spelling error. Django admin start project our first lesson. Go mess up again. Good. Aha. You don't see am now. So e go first be like say nothing happen o, but when you check here, you go see am say e create one folder wey dem dey call our first lesson. After that, another folder dey inside. Na dis folder na contain most of our files wey we go work with. Contain the manage.py. Dis manage.py e dey very very important, very very important o. Na im we go dey use take dey run server. You can still see your settings, your URL, ESGI and other Django files. What is the next step we have to do? Come and say, I want to test if Django is actually working in this virtual environment. So in the next step, we will just do something like this. Py manage.py run server. We're going to call this manage.py because it's in this our first lesson folder. Okay, let's see what will happen after that. You press your enter. Oh, pardon me, I'm ahead of myself. We have to cd into our first lesson. Now that we are there, we can now run py manage.py run server. Right now, it will give us a port that we are to localhost. Here we go, starting development server. So this is our server localhost and it's listening at port 8000. No let the language confuse you. You know hard. If you scroll go up, I want show now something. Make I scroll go up small. I'm just going to scroll up and then it says that system check identifying no issues. So yours should come out like this. You have 18 unapplied migrations. It may not work properly until you apply the migrations for admin or content type session and so on. This has to do with when we are creating our databases, our sessions, our admin, our authorization page. And we will get there. Ignore the warning now. Nothing will happen. Shake no there at all. So what I will do right now is I'm going to click this localhost. It's now port 8000. You can change this 8000 to 8001, but me, I'm going to leave it at the default port. Let's see what will happen. Good. Oh, it's telling me now that the install worked successfully. You are seeing this page because debug equal true is in your file settings and you have not configured any URLs. Yes, I know, say I never configured. If you dey see this page for your laptop right now, it means say you don dey go far and you are doing well. You are doing well. Make you clap for yourself. Okay, let us continue. It means it's working well, and then we'll go over to the next step. You are ready. Yeah. So just going to close this, and then I'm going to press Ctrl C on the terminal to close to end the server. So this is what we're going to do. If you notice, there's this DB SQLite. So it's like it's ready to accept databases, and we'll get there. Right now, we are learning how to just create a simple web page. Right now, there's something missing here that is not here. It's very common and it's the views file. That is the thing we say we won't see for our website. Since you know the here, last step we should do is we have to create the views file. I'm just going to right click any of the files here. I'll come to new, I'll come to new Python file. I'm going to name this views.py. There we go. Yeah. This with the I'm going to override the file type. Follow my steps. Yeah, choose Python. Yeah. Right now, we are going to import a function from Django. It's going to be from Django dot shortcut import a function called render. See, Pycharm gave me the autocomplete. So I'm going to define the home page. The pages that we're going to see are usually defined. So this is where the function comes in from Python. This will be F. So let's name the home page. The name doesn't really matter though, but this name can be changed. Let's just name it index, and it's going to take the request handler request there. Semicolon, so to return render, request, and it's going to take a template name, uh, index.html. Good. So this will be all for now that we're going to put in this page. This will be all for now we're going to put here. So what next do we do? We're going to create this index.html page because it's not created here as you can see. So where and how do we create it? So we'll click on this manage.py, make sure your cursor is there, then we'll right click and then we'll go to new directory and name this directory templates because Django actually is saying that there's supposed to be we've said that there's a by faith we don't call and say yes there's a index.html somewhere so we have to create it. I say by faith we name it templates. Good. So in this template file will come and create a new file and you guessed right, it's going to be index.html. There we go. Aha. So it has given us the skeleton for our index.html. It's giving us the skeleton and we can just put as a title. Now, one index is just going to be a basic HTML. This is not an HTML course. We also assume that you know some certain level of HTML in our development and in our going further in these tutorials we're going to be building way more complex websites with slideshows and the rest. So I really hope you can follow up from that. So we're going to give this home page. Let's say the title is going to be home page. And we come here and just say H1. H1. Sorry for that. I'm having a hard time spelling here. Okay. Welcome to the very first page. Yeah. Let's just do a little arrow there and quickly, for time's sake, P. This is the very first page. Hello world. So that they talk on hello world. Good. Now that that is done, what next? I'll just click this. Now we have created a template. You need to let Django know that hey, this index.html file is in this template folder because if you remember, it says template name index.html. We've created it. So how do we let Django know? We'll come to this our first lesson folder, then go to the settings. Our settings file, here we have some long, many things here. But we have to scroll down to where we see templates here. You can see templates there. See the backend. Then there's a word called dirs, dirs. Here we'll just put it that we've created something like templates, and that will be all for now. We can just close it. We can close it, and then go back to the URLs and say, hey, we have created something. No, this is just we just also need to let Django know that we've created something and the URL patterns. Now, Django has imported some things for way more complex website. We are going to import from the views file. This views file over here, we're going to import it here. These are steps that you should know. Now we'll say this is in the same folder from views. That's right. So there's a comma here. I'm just going to come here and follow this exact same pattern by doing path. I'm not going to put anything in there. So just a comma is now going to be views dot index. There it is, making index out for me. Index is not carrying anything. Views dot index. It's a command just in case. Remember, we've already defined views index here, and so we are calling this index. We are calling this index in this URL. That's what we're doing right now. We're calling the index in the URL, and this should be about that. So far, we have gone so far. And I hope you remember the steps. It's not really hard though. If you just follow the steps when I follow. So, how do we check out what we have done so far? Now, let us open our browser by using py manage.py run server. There it goes. The warning is still there saying that we haven't applied them. Yeah, but we can ignore first of all. So we'll click on this starting development server and localhost and see what it has for us. Let's go. Oh, yeah, we go. Welcome to the very first page. This is the very first page. Hello world. Hello world is supposed to come first. But anyway, and lesson now we the learn for here. So welcome to the very first page. So this is it. This is simple. This is just simple web page. You know how we got here. So the steps are not really very difficult. Our server is already running. I'm just going to do the Control C. As you can see, this web page has absolutely no styling, no nothing to it. This is just a very blank website, but this is just the beginning. We can include another function here. If we want, we can include maybe the about page and then link them together. In our next class, I'm going to be showing you how to create more pages and linking them together. I'm also going to show you, where to put your CSS in case of styling on the web page and then making your web page come out and look good and everything that you desire. So now, thank you for joining this channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. DjangoNaPidgin. So anyhow, we will run the code sharp sharp. And if you get any questions or comments or you want comment me, I bet leave them for the comment section. Me, I will read waiting you talk and I will reply. Thank you very much.